What's up, everybody? This is Jose with the Hacking Real Estate Show and Entrepreneurship. And today we have Garrett Terrell. Today we're going to be talking about how to be a successful real estate agent on your first year. Garrett, how you doing, man?
Yes. Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You know,
Good.
excited that we're still trying to get this episode done today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It'll be a good one.
Yeah. Garrett, give us a little background about yourself.
Okay, a little background. Make it pretty short and sweet. Played Division I baseball in college. Now just got started in real estate. This is my first year in real estate. My mom has been in the business for a while, so I just kind of, joined in under her and tried to basically just learn as much as I can. But yeah, first, it's somewhere in between 9 and 10 months into the business. So just coming up on my first year, first calendar 12 months. So yeah, played D1 baseball in college, and then now just venturing into my real estate career.
Nice, man. Nice. So how has been that transition from being a former baseball player? I used to be a baseball player too in college, and then now into the business world, now being a sales person, and working with real estate.
Yeah, so it's really not that big of a transition, I would say. I mean, it might be, for other people, but I've really just kind of just taken the same mindset I did in baseball and transferred it into real estate. Just same hard work ethic, be the first one to show up, last one to leave, that sort of thing. And really, if you come with that mindset every day, I think you're going to be successful just as a general rule, just because this business is a lot of, it's really all on yourself. It's really a one-man sport. But it really comes down to your mindset and then how you approach every single day and approach your business. So
I agree. The mindset is very important in anything that you do, and sports, business, whatever you're doing. So you are on your first year, but you're about to already get to the 12th month, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And how is that going so far?
It's going really good. So I would say this year, personally, as my first year, I've been very blessed because it's been a great year. Probably better than a lot of people's first years, just because I've joined a team. And with that team, there's lead generation and stuff like that. And we have assistants, and it's a lot of it is probably not realistic for a first year agent, just because, if I was, 40 something years old, getting into the business for the first year, just being a solo agent, this year for me would look totally different. But I've just been really blessed with a great team and a great atmosphere where we can do a lot of production. And I've really been blessed with the amount of transactions I've done, and I've worked really hard this year. So I believe altogether right now, because I have 2 in escrow right now. They're supposed to close in the next 2 weeks. So I'm closing next week and the week after. After that second one closes, so far I will have done 16 transactions in my first year.
Nice. Congratulations.
Which is good. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been hard work though. It is not easy at all. And if you're watching this out there and you're wanting to get into real estate, it's not easy, but it's very rewardful. I don't even know if that's a word, but rewarding, I would say. It's very rewarding because you work hard, but it's really just a lot about managing, transactions, relationships, and just being a problem solver. And
it's possible.
Yeah. And it's totally possible. It's just however much you want to work is however much money you're going to make. So
awesome, man. Congrats. So
thank you.
For someone that is going into real estate for the first time and it's going to be their first year, what are those recommendations that you have for them?
Oh, yeah. To be successful?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to be as successful as you. What do I need to do?
Yes. Okay. So I could talk about this for hours and hours. I could probably talk about this, but I would say the thing that you need to do and that you really need to hit home is that if if you talk to 100 people, there's typically only going to be 2 to 3% of people that are ready to do business right now, right this second.
Okay.
So that was hard for me to understand, because when I talked to someone, when I talked to a seller or a buyer, in my mind, I thought they were ready to buy or sell today. But it's really not that, because the real magic in this business and where you start to do a lot of transactions is not that 2 to 3% of the people that are ready to do business today, because any agent can get those clients if they're ready to do business today. The real magic in it and the real strategy behind it is building that nurture pipeline of people that are, not ready to do business today, but maybe ready in the next 3 months, or maybe in the next 6 months, or the next 10 months, or something like that. And once you build that pipeline of all those people, and you also worry about those, 2 to 3% of people that are ready to do business right now. If you cater to both of those sides, you're going to have a great, amazing year, because the closing that I have next week is a buyer, first-time home buyer family that I've been working with for 8 months.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I showed them a home 8 months ago, and I showed them a home last month. And the one last month they wanted to submit an offer on. So, if I had that mentality where like 8 months ago, I would say, I'm not going to put a whole lot of time into you because you're not ready to buy today. I probably would have lost them as clients, and I wouldn't have a closing right now. So it's really about, if I could go back in time and tell myself that, I would be a lot better off right now, just because you have to cater to both. You have to cater to the people that are ready to do business right now, and you have to have a nurture pipeline wherein, if we go to October, I still have buyers and sellers that are ready to do business that month. You know what I mean? It's not just it's not a rat race where you're just constantly looking for the next people. That's not a sustainable business. So that's really, in my opinion, that's how you become successful in real estate as your first year.
So it's basically building relationships, right? Maybe another way to call that. So because a lot of those clients that they are not ready now, well, they may be ready in 8 months or 9 months, at least here where I am in Miami, they do tend to be rejected at the beginning.
Yeah.
When you show that you care and you stick with them, and you're always there, you'll help them with whatever they need, then you build trust. So from 6, 7, 8 months from now, then they're gonna always remember you, and if they're still working with you, they're just gonna stick with you. They're not gonna go with any other agent. So it's super important that, and I totally agree with you, because I had experienced that myself here too, working as an agent my last 2 years, and I have people that I work with for months, man. We look at multiple houses, and sometimes they weren't ready because their credit score wasn't ready, or their W-2s, whatever, they needed to wait for the next tax return, and then it ended up happening.
Yeah.
But we built trust during that whole time.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing is, you made a really good point, because not only do you have to cater to those clients that are ready today and nurture the ones that are, later in the year, or 6 months or 12 months, but that's how you nurture them, is you basically have to explain to the client that I don't care if you do business today or in a year from now. My goal is to help you get the best home that you can possibly get, or sell your home for the most amount of money. I'm not worried if you want to do it today or in a year from now. My goal is just to help you regardless of what your timeline is. That's my whole goal. And as soon as you say that, it's something flips in people's minds to where, this guy he's not just trying to make money. Yeah, he actually cares and he wants to help you. So it's all about it's just changing the narrative and explaining that to people. People will open up right after you say that. People will tell you about their whole entire family's history, why they want to buy this house, why they need to sell their house, what their plans are in the future. So you just got to switch that narrative, and that's how you create those nurtures. That's how you create those relationships. And then those people that build the nurture list, that have a full nurture pipeline, 200, 300, 400 people, those are the people that are making a lot of money in real estate. It's not the people that make, you can make calls. Obviously, calls are amazing, but there's only can be a handful of people that you call that are ready to do business right now. You really have to just build those relationships with people and just keep it going for the long run, because that's where the real long-term wealth in this business is in that nurture pipeline.
I love it. Totally true, man. So for somebody that is going into real estate for the first time, I know one of the biggest concerns, there's several concerns and questions that I have. But one of them is how to get the customers. How do they find the leads? What do you recommend when someone wants to be a realtor or real estate agent and they want to go out there and find these leads?
Yeah. So I would say first thing you gotta understand is that how do you generate free leads? So you gotta understand that there's two types of leads. There's ones that are free that you don't have to pay any money for, and then there's paid leads. So you immediately right off the bat put it in two categories. So, do you want to spend money to acquire a customer, right off the bat, or do you want to go the free route? So, personally, if I was just starting out in real estate, I would want to do the free route. You know what I mean? So the free route, the people that have already agreed to sell their house are, expireds, canceleds, for sale by owners. That's literally someone putting a sign in their front yard saying, I want to sell my house. And it's our job to sell houses. So that's the free business. Those are the free leads. Expired, canceled, for sale by owners, that's on the selling side. You can get free buyers every single weekend by doing open houses. That was one of the best parts of starting out, is I had so much time. I would do 2 open houses every single weekend and do 8, open houses a month and get 2 to 3 clients out of that. You know what I mean? And so it was all free. I just had to,
You mean open houses? Yeah. You mean open houses from your own listings, or were you going to other agents' listings as well? Like somebody from your team, for example?
Yeah, you can do both. You can do either. When I started out, I didn't have any listings. So I would go up to, team members or people in the office and just say, hey, because they're out and they're busy. You know what I mean? They're going with family. They're doing something. They're busy. They don't want to do open houses on the weekends. So you go up to them and just say, hey, can I hold your listing open for an open house on Saturday from 12 to 2? And you do a couple hours every single weekend, and you could possibly get 1 to 2 clients a month doing that. And if you're doing, one deal a month as a first year in real estate, that's pretty dang good. Most people, the statistics behind it is, if you're a first year agent, you typically only make like $20,000 to $30,000 or anywhere from 3 to 6 transactions in your first year. So even if you do 1 closing every 2 months, you're in the average, you're on track with what the average first year real estate agent is doing. But if you're doing 1 deal a month, you're doubling that. You know what I mean? So, it's open houses are free. It's easy. I wouldn't say a lead generating, system, but it's just free. It's free business. Obviously you want to sell the open house and you want to sell that house, get an offer on it or something like that. And that's also the other end of it. If someone comes into an open house and they like the house and they want to submit an offer, you just got a buyer out of that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Even if the people that come in don't exactly like that house, you can show them, hey, here's a list of vacant owners around this area. These are exact same criteria houses to this house that we're currently in, and these are all vacant owners. The reason why I'm showing you these vacant owners is because typically people who have a vacant home are carrying 2 mortgages. So they're more likely to give closing costs. They're more likely to accept a lower offer. And you start giving these people value, then they're like, oh crap, he knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And then you go, I can show you any of these houses within a 10-minute notice. I'm like, here's my number. You can see any of these houses. All you got to do is just text me and let me know. And I can get you into this vacant house within 10 minutes notice. Then they're like, oh, snap. He's hungry. He's, available, and he's giving me all this free information. I'm going to go with him. And then now you just get another buyer client out of it. You know what I mean? It's just, so it's free. It's all free. It's just, it's costing you time. That's the only thing it's costing you. So if you're a first-year real estate agent, you should be calling FSBOs, expireds, canceleds every single week. That should be the first thing you should do. And then you should do open houses every single weekend, at least 2, just because it's free and you got nothing else better to do on a weekend.
Exactly.
I mean? You're not showing 5 houses on a Saturday. You should be doing an open house. You know what I mean? And getting some business out of that. So
you need to be putting some work out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that you mentioned the word value whenever you were talking, because that's is also extremely important, and it makes the difference between actually selling and then again gaining the other person's trust, because you are showing that you care. And when you're giving value to that other person, you're definitely showing that you care, and you're giving them information, and they're learning from that information, and their perspective completely change. Because sometimes people, when they think about a real estate agent, at least here, they're like, oh, they're going to try to sell me something.
So,
or yes, they want to sell. I want to sell my house, but now this guy is trying to sell my house. So, they completely block themselves, and they are like on guard. But when you go in and you try to give value and information, and you try to teach them what you know, then it's different ballgame, man.
People are so smart nowadays that if you bring up any of the words like closing or selling or a deal or anything like that, people are automatically just saying no. They don't want to do any of that, and they get closed off, just like you were saying. But the thing is that people, it's basically a game of a cat and mouse. You know what I mean? So this is like a nice little analogy that I like to use. So basically a mouse will eat through drywall, eat through a house, a wall, to go get some cheese. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the second that same mouse sees some whiskers, some cat whiskers, that mouse is going to run away and never come back to that cheese ever again. So the thing is that a lot of people in real estate in their first year, in their second year, or even people that have been in the business for 25 years, they're all whiskers. They tell people, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell, message me. If you're looking to buy or sell, message me. That's all whiskers. What you should really be giving people is give the people what they want. So give people the cheese. And don't ask for any selling, any referrals, anything in the
Don't ask anything back.
Because if you give the people the cheese, they're going to be looking at you as the expert. If you tell people that, look, the interest rates right now for getting a mortgage, getting a home loan are the lowest in the past 14 months, and it's actually cheaper to buy a house right now than it was 14 months ago. If you tell people that, if you give people actual valuable information, and ask for nothing in return, you're automatically can be perceived as the expert, because you're not asking for anything. People know eagerness. They know that, if you're saying, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, message me. To me, that sounds really eager, and that sounds like you don't have a whole lot of business going on, because you're messaging your message to that person who's reading it is, I don't have any clients. I want you to be my client. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be asking for the business. At least that's how I, think. I want people to be crawling and chomping at the bit to message me and use me. I don't want it to do it the other way. I don't want to chase people and beg them to, list their house with me or beg them to buy their house with me. I want to totally, flip the script. And so that's just kind of that's just kind of how I approach things. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. That's the right way, man. Now, let me ask you, are you also getting customers or getting any type of engagement with people through the social media? Because for new real estate agents, this I know is also a good way for them to gain clients and then gain recognition in the real estate world, even though it's the first year, like yourself.
Yeah. So I would say social media is definitely good. I'm not going to say it's bad. The thing is that, like, since we're in such a technological stage and where everyone's at, I mean, this is on Facebook, you know, there's people on Instagram, and I would say those are the two main things you need to focus about. I mean, YouTube, it works great. Don't get me wrong, it works great. But in terms of actual people in your marketplace looking to maybe do a real estate transaction in the next 12 months, the majority of them are going to be on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So I would just say that is a really big social media part is Facebook and Instagram. But it's also, it goes tongue in cheek because really, I mean, the bread and butter of the business is doing the open houses, doing the calls, you know, cold calling and networking events. I mean, that stuff, no one wants to do it, but it actually works. You know what I mean? It's the bread and butter of the business, and that's how people, you know, drive business. And I mean, it just goes down to open houses. You know what I mean? You know, if you're a first-time home buyer, you know, you're a fresh couple that just had a baby and you go into an open house, you're almost guaranteed to talk to that real estate agent for probably 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, it's right. People just know that if you're going into an open house, you're expecting to talk to a real estate agent about buying or selling. That's just, I mean, you got to stick to the basics. You know what I mean? You can do a ton of social media stuff. You can do, you know, all that stuff. It's great. It drives a lot of awareness and you know, assertiveness to people to tell them to go do something, give them a call to action. But you also got to do the bread and butter. You know what I mean? You have to do the open houses. You have to do the calls. But then you got to do the social media well. So it goes back and forth, you know, personally. But
yep. And always keep in mind, give value to the customers. Information. Yes. Awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Garrett. That was great information. Appreciate your time today. How to be a successful agent on your first year with Garrett Terrell. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. It was really fun.
Of course, man. It was a pleasure.
All right. We'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, buddy. Thank you so much. Right. It was